Okay, I think we'll get started. I'm Tess Godfrey, and I just want to say thank you very much for joining me on this webinar this evening. So I'm going to talk a little bit on my personal and naturopathic perspective on how these essential oils can actually fit into the clinical situation really very well, and you know, how it fits with my own personal philosophy as a naturopath, and why I choose the doTERRA essential oils as well. Tonight I have to be compliant, so be very aware that we can't use certain terminologies and make any claims as to disease conditions and the cures that we find. So just be very aware of that. If anybody wants to get involved with a chat on here, you're very welcome to do that. We'll try and I've got a few things that I want to talk about in this webinar. If you comment and I don't answer you, it possibly means that I'll be covering the topic or the question later on in the discussion. Or if you want to ask or comment, please do so in the Facebook event discussion as well. You can post comments on there. I hope everyone can hear me, because it will be quite disastrous if you can't, but I'm going to get started. So just a little bit about me for those who don't know me. I am a full-time clinical naturopath. I also am a facilitator of reconnective healing and the reconnection. As a naturopath, my focus is very much on information medicine, or if you like, energy and frequency medicine. I do this as a bioresonance practitioner. Firstly and foremostly, that's what I do. I also use kinesiology or energy testing technique called quantum reflex analysis, or QRA for short. I've done another little video where I demonstrate that as well, so if you want to find that one on my page, you're welcome to have a look at it. I also facilitate emotional release through a technique and a QRA technique called the emotional repolarization or emotional release technique. And in between all of these things, Craig and myself actually do a little bit of the doTERRA on the side. So we have found ourselves in a position where we're at a diamond level, and in fact it's kind of one of those things where doTERRA found us. We didn't really find doTERRA, and our whole family, our 2 teenagers, everyone, it has become that first choice of healthcare for us in our family. And I think that's really important for me to mention, that this is my first choice of healthcare. We work on a preventative model of healthcare in our family. So at the first sign of any sort of unwellness, aches and pains, wherever we can, we go to the essential oils first. I run my clinic from home. I'm set up from home. I have a full dispensary of herbs, minerals, and other supplementation and medicines that I can pick from, but it's the essential oils for us personally where we go first. I also use these oils absolutely on a daily basis for myself, in my skincare, in detoxifying our home, in the cooking, and every room in our house actually has a diffuser in it. So yes, is everything okay? Yep. So we use it extensively, and I use it in my clinic every day as well. So just a little bit about my clients. I'm giving you a bit of background so that you understand where I'm coming from as a naturopath. I get most of my clients I get through referral, and I get referrals from medical integrative doctors and other clients as well. They come from all over Australia, and I am pretty much fully booked about 2 months in advance. I'm saying this to you because I have been fully booked before I actually got involved with the doTERRA essential oils. So for anyone who thinks that there's a possibility that as a naturopath, I'm using the essential oils purely because of the money factor, that is wrong. And I want to make that very, very clear. And you will find out throughout this webinar how I actually fit it into my clinic and do it with a lot of integrity. So the people who come to me, they have very complicated disease conditions, some of them a complete mystery to the medical profession. I see people with everything from allergies to the Lyme-like disease that we have in Australia, to MS and Parkinson's and parasites and multiple chemical sensitivities and a lot of toxicity. I see heavy metals and molds come up quite a lot, as well as cancer. So a little bit across the board, everything, but pretty much specializing in those conditions that the medical profession find to be a bit of a mystery. The reason why I get these clients is because I'm the lady with the machine, and the clients would come in and we would do the frequency testing on them to find matching frequencies of the toxicity or the stressors in their system that often do not show up in your regular allopathic testing. Stool testing might not show up the parasites, and blood tests just don't show up everything that might be hidden infections and viral infections, for example, and dental infections. So this is actually where frequency medicine comes in as a very, very important tool in determining or at least get very close to the root cause of what's going on in the body. These clients of mine are often very, very fatigued. And they're often so fatigued that they also have a very fatigued spirit. So on a physical and emotional level, they're tired, they're exhausted. 99% of people I see have shown me they've got one thing in common, and that is something very traumatic on the emotional level that they have experienced in their life. Some of them feel very much like they've lost their life purpose, maybe their sense of power. And there's in other words, a lot going on a much deeper level, a lot of stress going on a much deeper level than just the physical in the body. So basically, how do I use doTERRA in my practice and my philosophy? I'm going to talk a little bit through that over the next, I guess, 20-30 minutes. I'll try and do it and not waffle on. About 2 years ago, I just knew I had to have essential oils because I didn't even smell them. It was just something that happened, and I bought my first kit, and I hadn't even smelled the oils. They just resonated. I knew I had to have them. So I started handing out samples to my clients, lots and lots of samples, and I did this for a good 16 months, where I only handed out samples, and every now and then I would sell an oil retail. And the fact of the matter is, I never looked for anything new to get involved in my clinic because I was already so exceptionally busy. Just did not see any way I could spend energy or time on something new. But in those 16 months that I sampled, I did come to a very important conclusion. Something worked. And these essential oils were good for people. It brought faster results and faster turnover of clients as well. And it brought a lot more than that for clients, which we'll be talking through a little bit more. So I was perfectly satisfied that something that I brought into my clinic was starting to make a difference to the way people were feeling. And it was when they started asking specifically for more of these essential oils that I thought to myself, okay, instead of doing retail, I'm just going to offer it to them at their own membership and wholesale price. That's it. Get your oils, you're going to use more, get it at a wholesale price. And that's how things started. And the oils that people actually asked for most were the On Guard, which is the immune blend. I just found that suddenly they were recovering faster, or just feeling the immune system strengthening. Frankincense was one, excuse me. Frankincense was one that just about everyone asked for. I think frankincense, because of its whole wellness. And we'll talk a little bit more about frankincense and why it is my favorite oil as well. We'll talk about that later. Digestin for the gut, you know, the gut issues. There's an old saying that says death starts in the colon. And so it's really, really important just to support the gut. So Digestin was one people started asking me for. And the lavender piece, for obvious reasons there, it's about peacefulness, calm, and nervous system calming, support on that level, and very good for sleep. So it wasn't long before I then went, hang on guys, we can make up a customized kit for you, and you can get it at a wholesale price as well. So I started out with my clients pretty much just customizing a kit with a few oils that they needed. I did offer them the bigger saving that is on the, you know, the enrollment kits, but a lot of my clients would just go, hang on a second, this is what works for me, this is what I want, this is what you sampled me, and I want more of that. And that is where I found the you know, the ethics and the integrity of what we're doing with these oils really came through, and my clients were very, very happy with that situation. I know a few of them came back later and said, I should have bought the Home Essentials kit, Tess, but that's okay, because they are avid users of the essential oils now, and loving every bit of it. So some of my clients then started looking into and are using, actually quite a few of them are using the DDR Prime, and they do that on a daily basis. And again, I'm going to talk a little bit later about DDR Prime. It is, with frankincense, definitely one of my favorite things to use in clinic. And when I say using clinic, is what my clients are asking for. That's what they want to use. So DDR Prime, for people who are not sure, is the daily support, and it works on that absolutely deep cell and DNA level. Now, just think about DNA. DNA is where we have our blueprint for our health. Yep, Annabelle, that was you. So my job, as I see my job in clinic, is to help and assist as best as I can to use all the knowledge and the tools and my machine and the healing and everything that I've got, and the essential oils, to bring back and restore the balance and the harmony within the whole being. There's a lot of detoxification and decluttering that needs to take place. That's just my husband, he's Mr. Technical over there. And also, we reinform the body. We want to bring new information into the system and into the cells on a cell level. And we can do that through all the tools and techniques and the herbs and the minerals, and we combine that in partnership with the essential oils. So for me, it's really important that the essential oil is, for me and for my clients, it's a partner, it's a best friend. It's part of the journey to your balance and your optimum health and harmony within your whole system again. I wonder if Craig, if you just want to say hello quickly, because he's part of the whole...
Won't interrupt, but hi guys, all going well, thanks.
Thanks, though. it is a partnership. It is my best friend. And I think a lot of my clients are starting to feel that as well. We're getting so many beautiful testimonials, and every time they come in and they see me, they say thank you again for the essential oils. So I'm going to talk now very much about the 6 principles of naturopathy. Annabelle says she can only hear me. I don't know. Excuse me, folks. I'll just call on Craig. Craig, can you organise something with Annabelle? She can only hear me, and maybe the others as well.
Yep, that's right, Karen.
Okay, Craig's got Mr. Technical. Okay, so the first principle of naturopathy is very much that we do no harm. That means we must ensure our clients or our patients, for me it's clients, we must ensure their safety. And that means we've got to use the most natural, the least invasive, least toxic of the therapies and the methods and the medicines for our clients to minimize the risk of harm and to minimize any adverse effects. Okay, so of everything that I can use, I'm focusing tonight on the essential oils. It's a plant medicine. So, you know, plant medicines include food. We need to talk to our clients about food and nutrition. It's herbs and herbals and teas and tinctures and extracts, and the essential oils are part of that plant medicine. We have to be respectful of essential oils because they are very powerful, and so that self-education part comes into play with the essential oils here as to how to use it safely and follow the guidelines. Can you guys let me know if you can actually see me now?
There's a slow internet connection, unfortunately, at the moment. We're doing the rest.
Okay, Craig says there's a slow internet connection at the moment. That's maybe why you can't see me. All right, I'm not that gorgeous, so maybe better off not seeing me, guys. Okay, doing no harm with essential oils also means we can only use essential oils that are pure grade therapeutic. All right, so that is where doTERRA comes in with their CPTG. I'm not going to go into detail on that at all tonight, but I am very much assured that when I use these and use doTERRA in my clinical environment, that I'm actually offering my clients a very, very safe, if not the safest, of supportive strategies for them because they're already in such a weakened state. Okay, so the last thing about do no harm is, for me in my clinic, it's super important, because I work with vibrational medicine, is that whatever I use for my client, that I test on them and that I know that it will be a vibrational match to their state of being. Less is more. So one few drops of essential oils, it might be all that you need just to raise that vibration a little bit and to open up the client to receiving so much more. I love that the essential oils from doTERRA are vibrationally absolutely exquisite. I have tested every single one of their oils in the box. Every single one of them tastes very, very strong with the energy testing technique that I use. And of course, you know, it depends on how these oils are grown, where they're grown and sourced, and basically from the ground all the way into the bottle, there's a lot of love and integrity that goes into it. I have tested other essential oils from other companies that do taste strong as well. For me, the doTERRA oils resonate with me, and that's really all I have to say on that topic. All right, the second principle of naturopathy that I am very much bound by and I live I kind of live my life by these philosophies anyway, is believing in the healing power of nature. So we want to trust in the body's inherent wisdom to heal itself. It's about letting nature doing the healing. You know, think about the sun, the air, the water, the earthing that's so important to get. Plants, again, plant medicine. And then on top of that, we need love, and we need purpose and understanding, and we need to love. So this is, the body naturally raises its vibration, and there's science on all of these, on how, for example, grounding can change and influence blood pressure. Okay, there's science on these natural ways of living and using for healing. We've got a very powerful and an innate instinct for self-healing. It's in our DNA. We have, our DNA is our blueprint for our health. So if I think about what health is and then what dis-ease is, I'm going to put it like this. I think dis-ease in the body is when we're out of balance and out of harmony. So healing would mean that we come back to that optimal level of balance and harmony. Why are we diseased then? Where does that come from? My personal opinion is that there are barriers to healing, that there are certain barriers and interference fields and blockages. I work with these things on a daily basis, where we actually use vibrational medicine to move through those barriers and interference fields and blocks. They are things like stress, the emotions, heavy metals like mercury in the body, electromagnetic frequency and geopathic stresses, hidden infections, big one. They do not show up, not always anyway, and often not in conventional testing. Scars on the body, chakras that are out of alignment, out of balance, spinning too fast, too slow. Some inherited issues in the DNA, meridians that are blocked. Look, I can carry on and on. But there are things that can, if they're not in balance, or there's too much of this, or they're blocking nutrients from getting into the system, it can throw the body out of whack. So the essential oils, in terms of nature's healing power, well, they carry nature's own ancient wisdom. They are very wise and powerful plant medicine. They are a natural healer. So what I like about it is that it can actually support us on a very, very deep level, on a cell level, every cell, every organ, every system, every gland, and also on that emotional level can support us very naturally. And just so that you know, I think very much that the nervous system and the digestive system is basically your second and third immune system. So it's really, really important to take care of the nervous system and the digestive system, because if those guys are not, looked after, everything else seems to just sort of fall apart a little bit as well. The third thing as a naturopath for me is to identify and treat the causes, rather than covering up the symptoms or suppressing symptoms. They'll only return if you don't find the root of the illness. So I'll give you an example. If you have a stomach ache, that's a very broad thing, but let's say the stomach is a little bit sore, we might want to use a digestive blend for the oils and rub it topically, and yes, it's going to bring relief on the tummy area. But it might be something like an emotional support of the console, or easy air, or something like to balance out the nervous system a bit, something to offer that support on a different level. That's going to be the thing that actually shifts that tummy ache. So, the oils can be used very much on that level. They're intelligent and they're complicated. They have complicated biochemistry. They're bioactive, I almost want to describe it as they can find where the stress in the body lies and go there. It's like they can find that spot where they need to be, because they have nature's intelligence built into them. This complicated molecule means that there are hundreds of different therapeutic compounds in one drop of essential oil, and they work very gently and powerfully, and they bring that intelligence and that biochemistry into every cell and every part of your body. So dare I say, you can actually, by using essential oils, you may actually be addressing unknowingly the root cause of this imbalance in the body, and bring balance to that area of the body without actually zoning in on it mentally, just thinking about it. Just use the oils. It might do. It's very, very versatile, very complicated, and that's why I find that it works for clients who have complicated health concerns as well. The fourth one is about treating the whole person, and that links in with this previous part that we just spoke about as well. And we are more than our physical bodies. I think nowadays, you'll probably you hear a lot of talk about we are all one, and yes, there's the quantum physics that goes behind, goes into that. I might actually do a quantum physics for dummies, that's including myself, but on the essential oils and how that vibrational stuff actually works. I'll do a workshop or something on that soon as well. We are more than our physical bodies. We have a very unique physical and mental and emotional and genetic and environmental and social and sexual and spiritual makeup. We're all different, and we are more on all of those levels of our being, so much more than just this physical body. So as a naturopath, we know that all these factors affect our health. We know, if we just use the word stress, we know how stress can make you feel. Just the other day I felt stressed and my head started spinning and I got a headache. So fortunately I realized why, and I dissipated that really quickly by becoming aware of it and changing my mindset about something. So just, if you think about a spirit, if you're emotionally stressed and those emotions are vibing quite low, I'm talking about things like anger and fear and guilt and shame and a few other ones. They just, they're very much lower than gratitude and love and all those beautiful little emotions. We all have to go through them, but if we actually stuck in that state, then the physical body will begin to show us the signs and symptoms of this dis-ease, this disharmony, and this imbalance in our whole being, in our whole system, because we are a whole being. And we believe that we need to treat the whole being. It's also possible that people get to a point in their wellness, and I see this here as well, is that we have done so much work on the physical body, they're starting to feel amazing, but it's almost like they reach a little plateau. So they're better than what they've ever been before, but they've just reached that little level there, and it's like, what else is needed to jump, to get over that little hurdle where they feel amazing? And that's very often working on that emotional, spiritual level a little bit more, people to help find their purpose in life and to just find their joyfulness again. And then we've got someone who, comes back to that optimal state of well-being, which is what we want to achieve ultimately as practitioners. So how do the essential oils fit into this? We've mentioned it a little bit. The essential oils are incredible You just have to hear all the amazing testimonials from the essential oil users and also from my clients, that they may just amazing on that emotional mood support and even mental support for clarity and focus, and also on a spiritual level. I'm not going to go into detail on this either. This is, again, talking about the emotions is going to be it will be a whole webinar by itself. Emotions are biochemistry, okay? So they're neural biochemical molecules, and they work very, very closely with our memory and our moods and our behavior. So by using the essential oils, we can actually affect the biochemistry of our moods and our emotions. Okay, it does make sense, but it's a biochemical change. And then there's that vibrational change that can take place, because when we're actually storing some of these more lower level emotions of anger and the things like fear, that, you know, guilt that I mentioned before, what happens is it can actually get trapped in our bodies. And the Chinese model of healing explains that so beautifully, where the mind-body connection is, and, you know, there's certain emotions that can get trapped much easier in certain organs, like anger in the, you know, in the liver, and rejection and resentment in the gallbladder, etc., etc. Fear in the kidneys. It actually starts to change the vibration of the cells in that area. And so when we're taking the essential oils, what we're doing is like we're literally bringing the light back and the life back into that cell. Remember, the oils work biochemically. It works vibrationally. It works through their own signature imprint, and it can help to raise our own lower vibrations on a cell, an organ, and a gland level as well. Again, I'll do something more on this at another time. For now, DDR Prime and frankincense, to me, are just some of the most, you know, amazing essential oils to bring a transformation on that cell level. It brings transformation for people, and then it works on that DNA level. And just to give you also just a little example of how our DNA and frequencies, how, you know, how that works, is that at a frequency of about 528 hertz, DNA can mend, DNA can heal itself. So if you've got broken DNA, it can mend when you put a frequency of 528 hertz through there. Hence the solfeggio scale that the Gregorian monks would sing. Enough of that for now. The fifth one that we're talking about is the doctor is the teacher. So as a naturopath, my job is to teach. It's to teach you a whole being wellness approach. It's to teach the principles of healthy living and preventative medicine. It's my job to teach and offer you the tools for natural, healthy living and self-care. I must encourage self-responsibility. I must empower you to find your purpose and your inner peace. It's my job to love you. Okay, so it's important for me in my clinic that I do all of these things and hopefully set my clients up for lifelong health and well-being, so that eventually they don't need me, because people think they need a healthcare practitioner, and sometimes they do, and they just to help you know, help educate and help bring you to a point where you feel self-empowered. Wouldn't it be amazing if people don't need a prescription for the rest of their lives? That would be my ultimate goal, is to have no prescription medicine needed or required if we could. It's not always, you know, a reality for people, but they can turn to essential oils. Hopefully turn to that first, like we do in our family as well, and they can come see me for that maintenance, that tune-up, you know. Come have a chat and a little bit of a discussion, and come for that sort of the other levels of healing, for reconnective healing, for example. This here for me, the doctor as a teacher, is really important and very close to my heart, and that's also why I'm actually doing this webinar tonight, to put it out there. It's a very empowering tool, the essential oils. It's about self-education. It's about putting that power back into the client's hands and saying, here's a choice for you. If you want it, take it. I will be here to guide you, and I will help and assist you as best I can. You're going to educate yourself, and you've got something that at home you can turn to and have a go. Use this. If you start feeling a little bit unwell, worse than the day before, go to your oils. Use them first. The way that I approach it with my clients in clinic is very simple. It's a partnership. I have full disclosure with my clients about essential oils. I tell them exactly what it's all about. I talk about the product. I talk about the company. And I offer them the full choice whether they want to actually get involved in and getting themselves a wholesale account or not. And 90% of people say, of course, they want to do this. They want to try something that they want to have at home. And I'm so blessed and so thankful that I can offer my clients something that is so beautiful and empowering. It's a very, very loving and a kind thing to do. And I firmly believe that it's a partnership. So we talk about the essential oils and what to use, and you know, we have nice little chats. So just on all of that stuff, I do get asked quite a bit about ethics and multi-level marketing. Well, just to say to you, I don't care about any of that multi-level marketing word that comes out there, because I don't approach it in the way of I need for people to be locked into anything, and this is not what it's about. This is about my client. My client comes first. They have a choice whether they want to buy essential oils or not, and if they want to get it, they're going to get it at a wholesale price, because it would just be silly not to. And that's as simple as it is. And some of my clients have decided they love the oil so much that they actually want to share it with others as well. And that is just the most beautiful thing, because you know, they're sharing their experiences from the heart. Okay, so we do discuss the essential oils as part of that lifestyle for them, where it becomes toxin free. Start using things at home to remove the toxicity in there, because I find people just so toxic on every level. I test for toxicity. There's every kind of toxin that you can possibly find. Can be a stress on the system and cause blockages in the system, clog up the inflammation pathways. I do not prescribe essential oils. I want to make that very, very, very clear. I never prescribe an essential oil. I make a suggestion. I say, try this. People love it. They come back and say, I want more. I say, fantastic. And that's how we go. Now, we look up everything. We look up in the basic guides that we have, the Modern Essentials book and the app. So I just don't have the time to answer all the questions for my clients anyway. So, you know, it becomes self-empowering and self-educating, and that's what it's all about. Guys, in the sixth one here, and this is pretty much the last, there's 6 principles that I work with and that I wanted to share with you tonight, is that it's all about disease prevention. We have to focus on prevention. There's a beautiful saying that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Save your money. It's proactive medicine. It saves you money. It saves you pain, misery. It can save lives if we just look after ourselves a little bit better. What better way to use the essential oils? It's based on a preventative model. Here's my recommendation, because this is what I do, and I'll recommend that to everyone. Use your oils extensively. Use them daily. Use them in your food, in your smoothies. Use them in your room diffusing. Get more diffusers. Use them at work. Use them for low toxic living. Clean out the toxins from your home. It's actually, there's so much toxicity that block up our systems. I see this in my clinic every day. Use it topically for your skincare. That's what I do as well. So use DDR internally. DDR, amazing oil. As I said, that oil of transformation. It's got frankincense internally that you can take internally. You can do that. And clove and antioxidants and lemongrass for you know, pain and thyme. It's all anti-infective stuff as well as working on that cell level, really fixing up DNA. It's the DNA repair and you know, detoxifier. And think about the lifelong vitality complex. I've got clients who are doing that, who are using the LLV as well. And they pick a few other things. They might want to decide to do the PVS cyst and just come and tell me about it, and we work around that. I do not prescribe, as I said. This becomes client driven. None of this is driven by me as a practitioner. I want to make that really, really clear. There's none of it is driven by me. So it's the opportunity for someone to take power back, get their vibes up, and have something to go to when they're home. So just some of my clinic faves quickly. I want to just say that I am a bioresonance practitioner, which means that my clients get treatment from me. It's a vibrational treatment. It's information medicine, together with herbal prescriptions and mineral prescriptions and vitamins, for example. And they use the oils in combination with all of that. I love diffusing in my clinic based on, I'll go through my clients for the day, go through my 8 or 10 files, my folders, and I'll go, I think to match and work on that emotional level, I might diffuse X, Y, or Z, or a combination of these oils for the day, or halfway through the day change it to facilitate healing while my clients are with me. For daily support, my favorites, as I said, DDR and frankincense. Cell level healing. And then, of course, the emotional oils are really very cool. I hope you guys have got the Emotions app, or just using this little book there as well. Okay, Aroma Tools should have it. There might be some of our members who actually sell these books as well. Use them for emotional support. And then, of course, we've got the emotional kit as well. Balance and frankincense come in really, really nicely for emotions for me in the clinic. And then I do support, for me, one of the most important things to support with the systems to support would be the gut, the nervous system, and the immune system. Other things seem to come into balance. Even the hormones, they come into balance when we start to work through those systems, detoxifying, removing the blockages, clearing out, and take it from there. So that is basically my, that's all I really wanted to share today. I was hoping to say a few things about the results that we're getting in clinic, but I'm a little concerned about being compliant. If I say I've got someone with motor neuron disease and this is what's happening because they're using frankincense, haha, I could be, I could be not too compliant. So I probably won't do that. Yeah, there's an Emotions app, guys, that we'll post the link in the Facebook group. the link for the Emotions app and the name of the booklet as well. It's really very beautiful. Okay, I want to just wrap up and say, if there are any questions, post them, as I said, either in here or in the Facebook events page. If you're new to the essential oils and this is someone invited you to watch this, then please go to that person and tell them that you are super inspired to start using essential oils. I hope that some of you who are practitioners or who want to maybe introduce essential oils to your practitioners feel inspired to do so as well. And if you have any specific, maybe any other topics that you think could be useful, let me know as well, and maybe we can do some detailed webinars in the near future. There will be one on energy frequencies and healing and on the emotions as well. We're also keen to do some workshops for our team and across teams as well around the globe. So if anyone is keen for us to make contact with us to do that, just let me know and I'll be very, very glad to see if we can facilitate that. So thank you very much for joining me on this webinar. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join in and let us know how you feel, if there's anything else that we can actually assist with to help you in your practice and then your use of essential oils. Okay, so that's all from me. Enjoy and have a very good weekend. Bye.